Welcome to TCTS Ministries, Revelation of the Gospel. I heard about the plan of salvation many times before in the past, but though I was already saved, I didn't quite understand it. I remember sitting at the edge of my bed when I was then instantly whisked into a very different world. Though the ground was covered with snow, it felt like summer. There were giant wooden crucifixes everywhere, and from the way things were looking, I was sure things was going to get weird very quickly. I looked and saw a tall, muscular man dressed in bright red clothes. He then grabbed onto my arm and led me onto a long road, which had many other roads branching off from it. The man looked at me and told me to stay on the main road and to keep walking until I had reached the end. I began my journey with the understanding that it was going to be filled with many distractions designed to get me to take my eyes off my God-given destiny. The first road I came to, I was stopped by a businessman as he then offered me a suitcase filled with lots of money in exchange for my willingness to follow him down a different road. I resisted and remained on the main road as I continued moving quickly along. The second road I came to was filled with naked women, looked to have been women of every tongue and of every race. They then began giggling and beckoning me to follow them down a different road when I then felt myself beginning to weaken. I closed my eyes, barely escaping temptation as I forced myself to continue my route on the main road. When I had finally made it to the end of the road, there before me was a huge building with huge double doors. When I pushed one of the doors open, I was then met with a trail of blood which led to an altar. My shocked eyes widened when I saw Christ hanging on a huge wooden cross with a thorny crown on his head. His hands and feet were nailed to the cross as blood drained from his body. He looked as if he was dead until I then heard a voice saying to me that though he was dead, he lives. I immediately became weak in the knees with no other choice but to kneel. In my heart, for the first time, I clearly understood what it meant to believe, which was to totally trust and rely on God's word as truth regarding his death and resurrection from the dead. I began crying and confessing my sins before him and thanking him for saving my soul. When I opened my eyes, I found myself still in my bedroom, but this time kneeling before my bed, still in prayer. Listen, I thank God for drawing me and for giving me the power to believe. I thank him for choosing me for himself that I may serve him for the rest of my life and throughout eternity.